Good morning, you guys, it's Karen, and as you can tell from the title, not the greatest news. Watson has another mast cell tumour. So the mast cell tumour he had before was nearly 3 years ago. It was January 2019 and it was under his arm. And since then he's had so many lumps. I mean, we are really vigilant now in checking lumps on him and getting them tested ASAP. And in fact, last year we went on holiday and drove up from our holiday back here and back again just to get one tested at the vet, and it was nothing. But the same thing happened this year. We went back to the same place for holiday, and we actually cut the holiday short because we found this lump on the back of his neck. And despite having, we've had, I don't know, between 10 and 15 lumps sampled over the last 2 to 3 years that have been nothing, you still worry about it. So we've got this one just on the back of his neck near his scruff sampled, and it is a mast cell tumour. So yeah, I thought I would let you guys know. I don't put up a huge amount of videos on this channel anyway, but I will put updates about what's going on with him on here. He's having surgery today. He's being dropped off as we speak. They're only allowing one person in the surgery, and I knew that it was best for Kev to go in, because if I was with him it would make him more anxious, because I would be anxious, so yeah, Kev's dropping him off and I'm going to pick him up later on. I can't wait. Today will just be an absolute nightmare. I will try and keep myself busy, try and not look at the clock, I won't try and not look at the phone. I will carry the phone with me everywhere from like lunchtime, because I think that's when they're supposed to call us and tell us everything's okay. And but what happens now is obviously recovery. It's a big surgery, it's a big wound, because they have to do 3 centimetre margins around the tumour site to make sure they've got it all. They don't know how deep they have to go, because these can penetrate quite deep, so they don't know how deep this tumour has gone. So yeah, it's going to be a big wound. It may have a drain on it, and so it may be a lot of work to look after him. I don't know how people manage when you've got a dog that's ill and you're working. It must be heartbreaking. But thankfully I'm able to look after him, so that will be my priority this week, will be getting him recovered. Certainly last time, despite the size of the wound and whatnot, did not stop him recovering super quickly. I mean, it was ridiculously quickly. For 2 days, I walked him around here locally, just for little walks, as is supposed to be the case, just take him out for toilet breaks and whatnot. But he was just clearly bored, because he dragged me to my car and nosed my car, like as if to say, come on, I want to go somewhere exciting, this is really boring. So he's definitely a fighter. He'll be on tramadol and whatnot, but it is hard work, because trying to keep him entertained in the house, trying to keep him calm is probably the hardest thing. It's kind of like them being on crate rest, and also managing the wound, because if it's got drains, then anywhere he walks it drips everywhere, and there's nothing you can do about that. I've got puppy pads at the moment, so I'll put some puppy pads wherever he's sleeping, because last year it just looked like a blooming massacre. So that's the first thing, is to get him recovered from this surgery. In a week or two we get the results of the tumour that they've taken off, and if the margins have worked. So they will go around all the margin and make sure that there is no tumour in the edges, so that they've got it all, basically. So we should hear that in 1 to 2 weeks. At the same time, they give us a grade. This tumour is one that needs to be graded, so it's between 0 and 4. Last year it was a grade 1, and that means it's a low grade and it's unlikely to have spread. So he still had to go for staging, they call it, which is the next bit, which is having scans and lymph nodes sampled and making sure that there was no spread of the tumour, no metastases anywhere. So it'll be an anxious waiting to hear about what grade this is, because that will make a lot of difference to the likelihood or otherwise of it having spread. So if it comes back as a higher grade, I'll just be in bits until we get to go to the cancer centre, which isn't until the end of the month. So there's quite a few weeks yet before we find out if it's spread or not. So we get the grade in, we then go to the cancer centre at the end of the month. We already had an appointment, thankfully, because they are really chock-a-block, so it's hard to get an appointment with them. They do ultrasound scans of his liver, chest, abdomen, and like I said, take lymph nodes and check that it hasn't spread. And if it has, then we talk about treatments with them. So it's a nightmare. As you can hear, I've still got this blooming cold going on. know, they could, apparently on the news they called it the nastiest cold ever. I can understand why it's not been good at all. This is nearly 2 weeks I've had this now. I'm still blooming coughing, and it's definitely not COVID. We've tested, both myself and Kev. So yeah, that's what's going to happen with Watson. We're devastated. You know, I'm trying to keep it together. I feel sick today. I hate the fact that he's not going to know what's going on. You know, you don't know, but I think he's going to be thinking, why have they left me here? You know, why have we left him there? Especially when he wakes up in pain, they cry when they wake up in pain, and nobody's going to be there except the nurses, and I don't know what they're like with him, you know. I just want to get him picked up as soon as possible and get him home so that he knows, well, I'm at home, so he knows what's going on here, you know, and he knows he's going to be looked after. So I'm eager for that to happen. I'm trying to be positive and I'm trying to be strong, but I have to say it's really hard. You know, you just think the worst. And this waiting, I think with any kind of cancer, whether it's human or dogs or whatever, the waiting part is just the most agonising, you know, waiting to find out what type of tumour it is and has it spread. It's just awful. It's just soul destroying. And he's been having bad dreams lately, actually, Watson. And I looked it all up, you know, I was trying to find out, can dogs have bad dreams? And they can, but it's normally from past traumas. And I thought, well, he's not really had any traumas other than have the surgeries he's had. Like, he had that 3-day surgery for his inflammatory bowel disease, and it was horrific, you know. So he was in a crate for 3 days, having things stuck up his bum, stuck down his throat, having surgeries, having general anaesthetic. He was really traumatised by that, you know. He was shaking the next time we took him there for a checkup. And so I don't know whether he's having nightmares about that or what, you know, because I can't think what else it would be. Hasn't had any other traumas unless something's happened at daycare that we don't know about, you know. So I hope that this won't traumatise him. But he is resilient. All dogs are, aren't they? So yeah, like I said, we're trying to be strong. I imagine my husband will be upset when he comes home. He was last time, because, you know, just dropping him off and his little face, he doesn't want to go, you know, and he's kind of looking at you like, no, don't leave me here. Anyway, like I said, I will keep you guys updated, so please keep Watson in your thoughts, and that's everything for now. I will speak to you again soon.